Welcome to the Sacred Light Collective, where we explore our experience as a multidimensional spirit in physical form, balancing being in this world but not of it. My name is Ali, your multidimensional guide, so join me as we co-create our shared experiences, conversations with spirit, all things light language, activations and energy as we remember who we truly are. Hello and welcome back to another episode. You are with Ali and I'm delighted to connect and co-create with you again here in the Sacred Light Collective. This week I was tuning in with our higher selves and our guides and just checking in with what wanted to be shared. What was the topic or the theme? What was really going to be the most empowering and impactful and be of service to you? And it was interesting because immediately as I tuned in, I connected with the phrase walking the path. And you've heard me talk about walking the path many times, like we are walking the path together. And today, as we walk the path together, I was connecting to this idea of taking the high road. There was a visual that popped into my mind's eye about seeing almost like another path to our right, and it was slightly higher. It was sitting above where we were. And this came through with the essence of taking the high road to see the higher timeline path that is available to us. And this one is, or this higher path timeline is leading us more in the direction of our heart, our passions, leading us to our purpose and our calling. And this requires us to make some choices at times, to quite literally, as the saying goes, take the high road. Will I choose to engage with this energy? Will I choose to engage with this person or this belief, this mindset? Does this pattern really serve me on my higher path? Is this leading me towards my heart, my passion, my purpose, or is it taking me further away? Now, of course, that can bring up some triggers and some challenges because that may mean having to have a difficult conversation with yourself or another person. It may mean making a choice to end something, to say no to something. It may mean stepping away or changing something that you have previously loved and felt comfortable with to step into the new. And the feeling that was coming through with this was anchoring in this question of asking yourself, is this leading me on my higher path in alignment with my heart, with my soul, with my mission, my purpose, whatever the phrasing is for you? But our higher selves are really asking us to be very clear, to be very intentional, to choose then accordingly. And maybe this means also taking a bit of inventory, reassessing where you are and what are all of the avenues in your life. This may relate to friendships, relationships, career, work. It might be personal interests, might be where you find your time is being spent, and is this time being spent in the way that is most aligned for me? The first thing that comes to my mind is my own personal experience with this some months ago. I would find myself scrolling mindlessly because it just felt easier than actually choosing to do something. I would just scroll and get caught in what my daughter and I like to joke about, a scroll hole, because before you know it, an hour or two has passed and you've achieved nothing and your energy is zapped. your energy is zapped because you're just taking in all of this mindless content. It's not even necessarily anything that is nurturing or nourishing or educational. It is just everyone else living their life, right? And so my higher self brought to my attention that I would often claim to not have time to do the things that I really wanted to do. When I needed, I could feel the call to bring something to life, to birth a creation. And I would say, but I don't have time for that. And I very smartly was put in my place very quickly by my higher self, because there was all of this time I was spending of an evening particularly, and even right before bed, which is the worst possible time to be scrolling. And it was like, is this really a best use of your time? Is this what you are choosing? Is this part of the reality that you're creating? Is this leading you to your higher path timeline? Is it a best use of your gifts, your resources, your capabilities? And of course, the answer was no. And it was super interesting because when I had that difficult conversation, because it was a little confronting, even hearing it from your own higher self, but to see yourself in this and to see where you had wandered off the path. And almost immediately when I made that shift and that change, I have found myself feeling more energized, more productive. And whereas previously at the start of the year, the evenings would be often a downward decline in energy and in motivation and tiredness, like a physical tiredness, although not sleep tired, but just a general lethargy. Now I find some of my biggest downloads come in that time, and some of the quickest turnarounds with things that I'm creating or putting in place or working on, whether that be for myself or one of the other wonderful beings that I co-create with. It just evolves much more smoothly, more easily. And I feel lit up, I feel energized by that. And you've heard me talk about here, or if you're in my Facebook group, and I encourage you to come and join us there to catch the weekly lives and the transmissions, because it's an extension of what we cover here in the podcast. But I often joke about, looking somewhat physically tired or feeling tired, but not in a way that is depleting as such, because I am following what lights my heart up. In fact, my heart is blazing right now. As I talk about this, as I share this with you, as I connect to you and co-create in a way that I am passionate about and that feels aligned with my heart, my soul, my higher path, the higher plan, I'm lit up and I'm energized. I'm excited to create and to bring these things forward. And then the flow continues, because in editing and bringing, using the podcast as this example, bringing this to life across the mediums and platforms that it goes, it all just happens so easily, so smoothly, and so quickly, effortlessly. And so I feel the power in these simple questions. Looking at these avenues of your life, I see almost like a pie chart. Our higher selves are bringing forward almost like this pie chart, and it's cut into equal pieces. This may be 12 pieces, 8 pieces, 4 pieces, 2 pieces. It depends on all of these avenues where you have some energy expenditure. But what you are looking for is an evenness across that path. And what you're looking for is a balance. And is this something that deserves, that I desire, that is in alignment with my heart, my soul, my higher path, to give so much of my energy towards? Can I dial something down? Maybe it's not that you have to stop doing that or end that. It is maybe it only needs a quarter of the time that you're currently spending on it. Something else that they're dropping into my awareness as a personal reflection for you is, over this last week or two, I have been noticing my mindset and the ego voice, the negative inner critic voice. And I have found myself saying, no, thank you. I'm not choosing to play that game. I hear what you're saying. I see and I witness what's being said, but I'm not going to jump into that pond and expend some energy getting drawn down to the bottom. And I have found that really interesting because I didn't consciously make the connection until right now in this moment. But this is another avenue of how am I consciously choosing and creating my reality? How am I aligning my energy, my heart, my soul, my frequency to my higher path timeline that is that of my soul's path or my destiny path, whatever you want to call it, my higher plan. But it has been so freeing to just start to say to myself even, a lot of this isn't even about changing anything externally for me. A lot of it has been that direct, internal reference with my ego, with my mind or my body, and old patterns, old mindsets, old tendencies towards certain thinking or reaction. And is that really in alignment now with the path that I am on, in the path that I'm feeling drawn to go, my higher timeline, destiny path? And the answer, of course, has been no. And so almost like shaking it off, feeling this sense of just like, no, I'm not accepting that anymore. I'm not choosing to buy into that anymore. So I'm using my free will, my sovereign power, to choose, to say what I will accept and what I won't accept. And I'm sharing this too because it reaches a point where we can witness the ego, we can see the ego, we can do all of the work. And I know that you're here because you've done a lot of work and you're ready for the next level. And so this is what the next step entails. It sometimes is like pulling rank and saying, okay, I've heard all those stories before, I've addressed all of your concerns, but this is the path that we're taking. Because this is this concept of taking grounded action, of bringing it into your reality, which means it says, okay, I hear you, I'm not going to accept that, but hey, come up and join us on this higher timeline path, this higher frequency. Breathe some of this new air, this fresh air, this lighter air, easeful air, heart coherence, heart aligned air. How does it feel to be up here? Does that feel okay? Does that feel safe? Just come along for the ride. Now, whether you see that as pulling rank or reparenting, because sometimes that voice belongs to an inner child. So maybe it is about reparenting and saying, let's come along and just see what this is like. Because that's something that I've noticed energetically in a lot of sessions lately, when there are inner child or inner teen parts of us that are reticent about coming along or about letting go, about participating, I just set that intention and invite them to just observe, to come on the adventure, to just watch. They don't have to engage. And literally 99.9% of the time, by the end of that session, not only is that inner child or inner teen engaging, but they've actually shifted. A lot of the times I see them as almost like a dark shadow. And then by the end of the session, they're like these radiant, lit up, beautiful essences of themselves again. So sometimes it is just about the invitation. How can we all step up onto this higher path timeline? And so when I was connecting to all of this with our higher selves, I asked, what is here then for us to embody? What is the frequency, the quality? What do we need to be able to embody this more? To be able to kind of anchor into our foundation, to assist us to see that higher timeline path first and foremost, but to allow us to continue to ask the question and follow the direction of our heart, our passions, our purpose, our calling. And what I felt our higher selves and our guides too asking us to embody is a deeper self-trust, a deeper connection to our hearts, our soul, to allow us to begin to deepen in our foundations of self-trust and even self-confidence, to allow us to continue to choose that which is most aligned with our highest destiny path. And I have been integrating one of my Sirian soul aspects over this last week, and interestingly, they have been guiding me in embodying these very qualities. And so I felt called to share with you a transmission to activate, assist and support you to access and embody the qualities and the essence, the ability to hold self-trust and self-confidence in the foundation of your being. So I would invite you, if this feels resonant and if you are open to receiving, to simply place your hands in receiving mode, to open your heart, your body, your field, your auric field, and allow yourself to receive. Breathing into your heart, and as you expand from your heart, know that as you breathe out, you release, creating more space of any fear, of any doubt, of any worry, concern that is impeding you from embodying self-trust and self-confidence, enabling you to receive these codes, these Sirian light codes, to anchor, embody self-trust and self-confidence. Nandoroko yantiaki shaluku oroko undaya. Ngaloko onuku oroko yemakahi santai jaluku oroko yanda. Ando kuroko jaluku darkuturuki numakayara katsakairoko sandare shaluku oroko maka. Nga no turuko yama ishuruko urko yeka itu shaloko yamaki santo turuko umba. Nga no kuro yasharako tegeramo tatrikiru uturuko tukuma turuko yanda takiruko. Andora yana tatai jalo urko makaki daraki urko umako turuko makayidaya. Taking a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, feeling that central column, that pillar of light through the chakra column, through the very center of your being, like a tube of light, expanding, feeling your palms activate, feeling the heart at the front and the back. There's a lot shifting through the back of the heart to enable you to release any walls, any barriers, to access the ability to trust yourself, to have confidence in yourself. The aspect of you that goes beyond your mind, that is your heart, that is your soul. And as we spend a few moments here recalibrating as these codes come forward, you may even like to gently move the body, sway the body to assist with the spreading of the codes through your body, out from the heart, out from this column of your pillar of light, and simply receiving, simply trusting that this is so, that it is done. Leo totoro isamokuruku katikara julukuruku makatayendo proku yana. Ga lukutoto proku yamakito turuku ya. Lopo tatareki ishaloku urukuma itaki ruku yanda tatayena. Just breathing and receiving, breathing and receiving. Even repeating to yourself, I allow, I receive, I accept, and continue repeating that until you feel that going all the way into the root chakra, into the base chakra. Anchoring those codes all the way through to the base of the spine and the root chakra. Really feeling them anchor in, plant in to your very foundation. Recalibrating the root chakra energy to that of safety, of security, of stability, of trust. You might even notice that you're sinking into your body. There's more heaviness in the body as you come down, even more deeply, trusting and confident of the body itself. They are sharing that you may wish to listen to this portion a couple of times, trust your own discernment, or until you feel like this is complete. So you may wish to go back to the start of the transmission and listen to it, repeat it several times, or until it feels complete. Opening your crown, opening and allowing. I can feel the tightening, but just simply allow. You are ready for this change. You are ready to embody and integrate more of your divine qualities, the essence of you. You are ready to walk your highest timeline path. It is safe for you to change. It is safe for you to integrate. It is safe for you to expand. And placing your hands on your heart, breathing into your heart and through the hands, and just feeling this connection of the source within you, the light, the love of source within you, that you are, that you can have trust and confidence in now. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And gently allowing yourself to come back into the present moment, to feel the seat that you are sitting on, maybe hearing the sounds that are around you, and allowing your awareness to stay in presence with the heart, with the soul and the body, but allow part of your awareness to travel up to sit lightly behind your eyes. And noticing the felt sense here, noticing how you feel. It is likely that you'll feel a little heavier, and that won't last long. That is the process of integrating and embodying. And once that has recalibrated, it will feel seamless. It will feel easeful, light. I hope that this has been supportive and resourceful, empowering for you. And you may choose to listen to this more than once. As I said, I feel like this is something that we are being asked to be more aware of, this walking the path, the higher road, the higher path of the timeline, our soul's path now. That we will be encountering opportunities and situations as we come into the second half of 2024, where we will be given these opportunities to make those choices, to take those steps. And please know that your higher self and that your guides are encouraging you, they are supporting you, they are urging you to lift up. They're giving us this lift, showing us that it can be easier, that it can be more comfortable than our mind and our ego has previously led us to believe. Thank you so much once again for co-creating with me here. It is always a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to be able to share, connect and co-create. And I'm really excited that I have felt the call to share some activations through one-on-one sessions and a group circle, virtual group circle for the 7/7 portal energies on the 7th of July. I am deeply connected to Sirian energies, and the 7788 portals have always been incredibly expansive, energetic frequencies for me, even before I really understood or even knew my galactic roots and connections. And so it is amplified when we reach this time of year where I also go through my most expansive growth. And I am delighted to be able to open that up and share that with you and take you on this journey. Because even if you're not necessarily aligned with the Sirian energies or galactic energies as yet, they are here and they are present. And the Sirian gateway will open just before, I think it's the 2nd of July. And once that Sirian gateway opens, I feel like we become so aware of the heightened frequencies and energies, the activations, the capability that we have to access to amplify on the physical. And even at the moment, what I'm noticing is that we are able to achieve more in smaller blocks of time. I have been playing with setting an intention or creating an intention to supercharge if I know I've only got a short period of time with someone. And so what's been fascinating is to see how multiple things will be occurring in that period of time on a number of different levels. And so I know that that is only going to be amplified the closer we get to the 7/7 energies. So I'll place the link below if you're interested in joining me for the virtual group circle, and there are some limited one-on-one sessions as well. So if that is calling you, because I feel like this was a little taste today of the Sirian energies that are coming through me as I integrate another higher frequency, another higher aspect of my Sirian heritage. As always, the light, the love, the divinity within me honors the light, the love, the divinity within you. Namaste. Until next time, much love.